Hello, my dear Capricorn, and welcome to another reading with me, Mountain Medicine Coaching. I'm so excited to be here with you all. It is April of 21, but whenever you find this reading will be perfect for you. So keep in mind this is a general reading. If we have anything that I don't feel comfortable saying to everyone, I will mention that a personal reading is recommended. If it's a yes or no situation, if it's to stay or go, if it's something super specific that is reserved for personal readings. I'm just taking a moment here to clear the energy space. Please go ahead and do this with me, just by taking a couple deep breaths, centering yourself, getting comfortable, and releasing any energy from the day, the week, the month, or the year. And also really releasing any expectations that you have for the reading. It's okay to set intentions, but it's always best to let the cards do the talking and allow the messages to come through freely. So let's start with the positions. We first have the center here, which will be the general energy of the reading and what the situation is probably about. Then we have your past here. This is where healing will be, trust, relationships, and sometimes other people's energy. Then we have the mindset and what's going on in the mind with your goals or just your cognitive energy right now. Then we have spirit guide messages all the way to your forward action, which is your next steps. Then we're going to read the Lenormand just like a sentence to get a general idea of the storyline. So let's go ahead and begin with the center card. We have divine love here. So this could definitely be self-reflection and love of yourself. This can also be a love relationship, but again, we'll get to that point. If you have a relationship you'd like to ask about, go ahead and continue watching and we will see what comes up. But normally I stray away a little bit from the love readings because they are so definite. Okay, but if you are here for a relationship reading, this could definitely be in terms of giving as much as you receive, because we have the trees here, also known as the standing people, which I love. And this is about roots and wings, right? Being grounded and open to releasing love or nurturing or compassion to others. So what you take, you also give, and vice versa. It was in the reverse, so something may be going on there. Also with the self-love or anything not relationship related, this is also a give and take as far as your energy levels. What is your energetic capacity? How much can you serve? Things like this. So in your mindset, we have healing, and this actually came through for Aries as well, in the same position. And it actually is a perfect place for this healing to be as far as the layout of the reading. So the medicine bowl is where the herbs would be ground down to make salves or tinctures. And then we have the jar here, which is where those would be. Now the medicine in this card is the bowl itself. This is that grinded motion. This is the black tarnish, the black aftermath of all of this healing that's been done. And, you know, traditionally, these would not really be washed. They could actually be filled with water and seen almost like a reflecting bowl. So they were used for so many different purposes, and they were around for so many thousands of years that it became an ancestral item. You can see how deep the bowl has become, and it's because it would be passed down for generations and generations. So this could definitely be generational trauma that you're healing. This could also be just the fact that you feel ground down, or maybe someone in the relationship feels somehow taken advantage or overworked, perhaps. And then in the upper quadrant here, which is the spirit realm message, we have fertility in the reversed. So I think this is a reflection here of the trees being in reversed as well, just because if the roots are not nurtured, then we cannot go on, right? So self-love being taking care of yourself and meeting your basic needs, and in a relationship, same thing. So two different readings going on at the same time here. Okay, so this means that it's not necessarily a place for productivity. It's not really a place for moving forward because of this reversal meaning. It just means that the healing needs to be done in order to move forward, because of course you're going to move forward, and we'll see to what you're going to be moving forward towards, which actually gets me really excited. So let's go ahead there. The giveaway ceremony. Okay, so something is being released, something is being given up. This young girl here has one doll, and this is probably the only possession that she's ever had. And then the tribe's members would come together and have this ceremony where she releases her one possession, and it teaches this non-material way of life. And to have attachment is to detach from self, right? So this could be about decluttering. This could be about cleansing your diet. This could be about that self-love, self-nurturing, self-care. In a relationship, it could mean you're releasing something, you're giving something away. Take that again with a grain of salt, because I don't like to be affirmative. It's interesting because I don't always have the prelude of the relationship reading being very particular. Somebody is out there really hoping for a yes or no answer. So what I have to say is, the more you can release other things, you don't have to release the person, right? Or if it's a job you're leaving, somebody's trying to drop something now, which is okay, but we have to take things in stride, and we have to make sure that it's safe to do so, right? If we have fertile ground in place, if we have the foundation in place, if we have grounding in place, the healing's been done, then yes, go on to the next thing, detach, and just do it. But in this instance, I always, because we live in a 3D world, you know, if all conditions were right, of course, leave anything that's no longer serving. But when there's second guessing energy, the way to approach it is to give away little things. Time spent watching the television, let it go. Time spent going through the closet looking at all the things you don't wear, let it go. Things that trigger you in a bad way, relationships that are heavy, just take some time away from them. You know, little baby steps are going to be key here, simply because I feel that this is out of balance. So the best thing would, okay, so we don't want to make decisions from a rash place. And so this grounding work, this healing done, this self-love stuff needs to be done before diving in and moving forward. Okay. So we have celebration in the reverse, being the storks. This can be home life. Then we have intuition here, and these are showing up upside down, but I usually shuffle them and turn them right side up, just kind of on autopilot. So we will do the reversal meanings, but pay little mind to the reverse. Okay, we have the male. It just means male energy. Could be male aspect of you if you're a self-love receiver of the reading. This is about the yin and yang energy, giving and receiving at the same time. The medicine bowl is very feminine, and then we have this giveaway ceremony that's about releasing material things and the ego mind. So this could definitely be aspect of self, being male, but some of you are in a relationship and this is the male person. We then have community and communication. We have research and looking deeper. We have details, okay, and the whip, which is overworking. So I did assume that somebody is feeling overworked, and we see that here. So that might mean that whatever is going on emotionally has a lot to do with the environment. Okay, so the conditions are where to start. Begin in the roots, begin in the soil. Okay, nurture that soil and other things will grow. And how to do that is self-love. And celebration of how far you've come is going to be massive. A realization of why you're here and who you are, and you know what you're here to see, what you're here to research, what you're here to do as your divine work on this planet. Because at the bottom of the deck here, this is where it gets cool. We have the whirling rainbow, which is the whirling rainbow prophecy, which I feel so blessed to be able to have talked about so far on every single reading so far that we have done this month. So this prophecy is the seventh fire prophecy. Some people know it as the fifth world of peace. And then across the planet, we have 5D, Christ consciousness, the raising of the planet, ascension work. You know, it's called many different things, enlightenment, you know, full completion of whatever kind. There's this understanding of us being at one with the universe. And this oneness, this great deep understanding of self creates this unity among the planet, right? So everyone can finally be on the same page. Everyone can finally feel this wholeness, this coming together, right? So we have this connection to the land, this connection to our intuitive side, our feminine side, because the masculine is very action-packed. Work, work, work. Research, dive deeper, research, dive deeper. And if we're healing, then we're bludgeoning, right? It sort of feels like the healing has not been pleasant, okay? Rarely is it ever, but it can be. So for some of you, it's time to dive deeper into what your personal ceremony feels like, looks like, and embodies. And it looks perhaps like this. We have the sacred spiral here, which is what we're doing. We have this woman here sitting on the rocks with this glowing tablet here, maybe a stone. And the message here is the responsibility for the next 7 generations. It's the understanding that we're here to make great change. See the spiral again. So this is very important for whoever's watching. 10 and 18, so 1, 1, 8. Let me see, 1 and 4. We have 3 and 1 is 4. 3 and 1 is 4. We have 4 here. So lots of 3s, lots of 4s. Anyway, okay, so you have this social responsibility to ethically impact this planet. So not just going green by recycling and making sure you have zero waste, but the next step is to go blue, and that's to make sure that all of your waste is actually helping the neighboring environments, or, you know, composting in order to make something else green again. There's planting involved, there's permaculture involved, and some of you are really connected to that plant realm, right? And perhaps you've just felt a little bit called away from it into work. You know, how do I make money doing this or that? And it could be any business. And so your masculine is taking over your brain, and then the only thing you're talking about is this productivity and moving forward, but the soil's not even fertile yet. So there is this energy of moving ahead, jumping ahead, and the universe is saying, stop that. Go back. They're saying go back. So back to ancient concepts, back to, you know, ancient pyramids and writing on walls, and what are those crazy like conundrums that have just stopped you in your tracks and been like, wow, this is really cool. This is worth celebrating. This helps me on my journey to better understand this great thing that I'm here to do, whatever that is for you. You're here to make a huge impact on the world, Capricorn. So a very, very cool start to the reading. Let's go ahead here and see what, if anything, has been suppressed up until this point, or can we dive deeper into that healing? What's going on there? Okay, it's time for you to realize your power. And I love this so much. It looks really dark, but this whole deck really is. But it says phenomenon. Be still and listen to the spirits. Very cool. And tying in here with healing and with trees, you're going to go on a really, really beautiful, you know, earth walk or dreamtime journey. Something very, very cool is going to help you with this intuition and this male-female side balance, or coming together or growing apart, or what are we doing, this balance here that's being found. You're going to feel the need to research it, but in another way. So instead of surface level, you're going down another level, and that's really beautiful. And at the bottom here we have the making peace with your past. And this really, really just reminds me of those lower 3 chakras, you know, where our past is held, guilt, shame, you know, pleasure, abundance. So much energy is held there. And when we hold feelings of unrest, or we hold upsets or trauma in that area, other things begin to go haywire. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Okay, let's dive into what's going on cognitively within your goals and your aspirations. And at the bottom of the deck, before I even shuffle here, is education. Education, and this is the stork here, which we have 2 times. Sometimes just known as a water bird. There's heron. There's a lot of different names for the bird. But to me, he always represents self-reflection, because he walks around with his long legs all day looking at the water beneath him. So of course he's searching for fish, but spiritually he's looking at himself. So he is known very much for diving into that deeper knowing, which we have the moon, we have the book, and we have the stork, and now we have all of those things here again. So very, very beautiful. It just really indicates to me that you are researching more into yourself, really, into your earth connection, into what you're here to do and the impact you're here to make. And it's a slow and steady race, which isn't always what we want to hear, but the slow and steady is often more peaceful as well. If we can just grow all day long and, you know, travel at our own pace, and then sit under the starlight, you know, sitting on our blanket, watching the frogs and, you know, the snails, and being at one with the landscape around us. And then the next morning we feel refreshed because of that connection that we've made, and because of that moment that we created. And when we have this moment, this power place, this ignition of self, we begin to feel more rejuvenated, and we can show up stronger, and we can do the thing bigger. Okay, so we're going to put these in order here. Good. And now at the bottom here we have Sad Embrace. I actually don't think I've ever gotten this card ever before. So very cool. And to me, this could be the relationship drama. And it could be career drama, family drama of any kind. But the drama is overpowering you. See, we have this sort of coming apart, this difference of opinion, this stretch, right? And it's just uncomfortable. So when we get this sad embrace, it just means this isn't going to be an easy road, but nobody ever said that it would, right? So the goal here is really to find what lights you up. What is the spark of your life? What is it that gets you out of bed in the morning? What is your divine purpose? Okay, let's look into that. What are the spirit messages as it comes to being relevant in moving forward? Illumination. So this is actually close to the scene that I was seeing when I said, you know, we're going to rest and sit and look at the water and the frogs and the turtles. Like, I just feel a lot of water energy. And maybe you or your partner has water, a lot of water in their chart. But it mostly represents this cleansing and this clearing. We want to get to this celebration point with the intuition running high, right? And so you have that going on, but you have all this other stuff on top of it, asking you to question yourself, asking you to just be happy where you are, to not try to move forward, or something to that regard. It's an interesting concept of just wanting to stay stuck. And so we have flexibility. Your goals may not look exactly as you wanted them to. Your outcome could be a little bit different, or seen in a different light than what you initially wanted. So just be open. Be extremely vulnerably open to the wonders of the universe, which we have at the bottom here. So there's this bewilderment that is before you. It's like the present moment, that enlightened feeling, that being grounded into earth connection. There's something there that is this cataclysmic event, and you are here for it. It's your time now. This is your little sitting in the corner and realizing that you are connected to spirit realms and you are an intuitive channel and you are capable of this enlightenment, this celebration of self, and this understanding of ancient concepts and things coming full circle finally for you. So very magical energy. So let's see what it is that you're going to be embracing and embodying in this next stage. What is it that we're expressing? I wondered. Okay, so this is the presence of absence, and it's really, really beautiful. It reminds me a lot of, you had one here. Oh, it was on the bottom of the deck. That's why I can't find it. Here it is. Okay, so these two go hand in hand, and I believe it was Aries who got both of these together as well. So we have make peace with your past, and then we have presence of absence. And this woman here is sitting at the dining table with her partner framed in the background, and then pictures of family members sitting before her in front of the chairs. So the absence is creating a presence, okay? And it's, again, that enlightened feeling of we are nothing and yet we are everything, right? Thinking of the fact that all of our atoms are filled with 99% nothingness. You know, the whole world is made of nothing and yet everything. It's life force energy. It's the fact that physically we can feel emotion, right? Like this here, breaking apart, this emotional craziness. But it's important to note that this healing journey is ready to take place. And in doing that beautiful healing journey, you find out also how to move forward. And at the bottom of the deck here, wow, emptied. The ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. And we have this burning inner solar plexus, like a cavern of fire. It's the lower three chakras. So many of you are being called to perform healing on those lower three. And it's very common. It's just a place to store energy. Excuse me, everyone has something in that energy field. So let's see now what it is that is driving you, Capricorns. What is the momentum that is propelling us? Page of Vessels, feminine energy. The otters are used in Native America for their feminine representation. They're a symbol of feminine nature. So they would still do actually use otter pelts as a way to elongate their hair. So significance of the hair being long, being the connection to earth spirit and the connection to the spirit realms through their hair. It's like a life force energy. In Japanese culture as well, like samurais and that. So all across the world, the hair is very intuitively driven. So again, just kind of a feminine nod to that energy. And then the otter itself lives in the water, so therefore is called to that water energy, emotional energy. So really, really beautiful reminder there of the feminine. And then the others that's driving you, the other energy here is abundance. And we're all very much driven by abundance and having more than enough, you know, not having to worry or stress. So don't feel any guilt around that. I mean, wanting and needing abundance is not at all something to be upset about, right? And at the bottom here, we have boredom. Now, I really love this card because it's so complex. It's a 4, so the 4 of Cups in the traditional. But this woman here is fully clothed in really gorgeous gowns that are just wrinkly. She has blooming evergreen ivy behind her, and then all of the cups are flowing. Okay, so it means overflow, abundance. She has more than enough. She, you know, has been well fed and she's been well clothed, and yet there's no way for her to get out of where she is. She's feeling very stuck. She feels very imprisoned in this lifestyle, in what she's doing. So she's wanting to get creative. She's kind of hitting this rock bottom, right? In which case these feelings start to come up. And she starts feeling like, well, there's this burning ache inside me, whether it's desire for wanting to move on, or this desire for wanting to become this sort of like a healer or a guardian figure of some kind, right? And to fulfill this purpose, everyone has something very, very deep and very influential to share. I've been saying all for the last little while, there's no new souls on the planet right now. So if you start to feel like maybe you don't know enough, you know, you're new at this, you are at the beginning of your journey, if you were to, you know, stray off and go your own way, that you would not have enough tools in your toolkit, right? So there's this feeling of newness, but the universe is here to say, no, 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 no. You know, there's not a whole lot of new souls on the planet. You do know what you're doing. You do know how to manifest and to clear space and to research. This is the scribe. Very powerful message of channeling, a powerful message of this light language, right? Lots of people are talking about light beings and star seeds, Lumerians, Palladians, Atlanteans. You know, they're all somehow connected, but do we know how? Do we? I don't know, you know? Who does know? And it's people who are out there channeling. Okay, let's see now how you're going to best be connecting to your higher sources. In what ways or how can Capricorn connect deeper? And it says gentleness. Strength is gentle. True kindness has wings. Love in action endures. Interesting. So as I mentioned, I think that perhaps this, if you're in the relationship and it's love related and you're feeling ungrounded, you're feeling that things are moving too slow, maybe even losing their spark or just not working out, it may be environmental, okay? Love in action endures. So it may just be time to till that land, you know, till the land, there we go. And of course, doing the healing work, you know, they say nothing comes easy. And if you're looking to manifest abundance easily, that's not easy either, because there's healing to be done. There's clearing to be done. There's embodiment work to be done. There's releasing. So it says, bless all in need of healing, hope, and love. Spirit, grant us strength and wisdom. Guide us to the path of wellness. So really, the goal is to become well and ever balanced and to be able to take things in strides and to master your own energy flow and to see yourself succeed. It's really important, and it should be. It absolutely should be important to see yourself succeed. So we have the owl here. Also came through for Aries, though you do have a lot of water here, so it could be one or the other of your energies if you want to cross watch those. So the owl is about deception because he is someone who cannot be deceived. And then we had illumination here too. So this is like, you're kind of asking questions like why and asking questions like how, and you know, some of these questions cannot be answered. However, you will not be deceived. Look at the wisdom here, right? And we have wisdom that you're gaining and that you're understanding, you're grasping. It's in your grasp. It's within your grasp because it's in your pain, it's in your healing that you find this spirit, that you find this light, right? This light is buried deep, deep, deep into this darkness. So if you're feeling at all like things aren't working out, or you're trying to climb a slippery slope, whatever that is, you're working too hard, you're burnt out. We have illumination again. Going back to the root. Remember I mentioned having roots and wings. Here's the roots, And here's where the wings will be. Right here with fertile ground. So it's not time to sow the seeds. It's actually time to till the soil, give away, weed the garden. And at the bottom of the deck here is the turkey, the animal that represents this giveaway ceremony. So, think in terms of Thanksgiving. It was actually super misconstrued from Native America, but I'm not being called to go into that story now. But the medicine behind it is that turkey feathers were used for almost everything, for, blowing smudge, for making arrows, lots of things like that, because turkeys would just flap their wings and poof, there comes a feather. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. We're just giving stuff away. There's even mushrooms named after turkeys called turkey tail mushrooms. Just because of the way they look like this, little furrows. But that's beside the point anyway. But those mushrooms are edible. If you find them in the wild and it looks like a turkey tail, then you know. But anyway, there's this idea, this theory that I have, that many of us are on this planet in order to move energy efficiently, right? And so sometimes we find ourselves in this state of just overwhelmed with anxiety, fears, memories, hogwash, stories that we've told ourselves, stories that we've been told as children, be afraid of the dark, don't walk that way, don't go so far, how dare you become that? Why would you do this? And we start to really reminisce on it. And regardless of what that energy is, it's obviously very strong. It's very strong. But it doesn't have to be. You can decide, just like a turkey, shaking it off, and there goes a feather for somebody to use. And it will help you to illuminate the real issues, or, what's going on in the soil. You might be deficient in something. And some of you may literally be feeling a physical depletion. And it's something in the nourishment. And of course, that can be figurative too, in the relationships. What's in the nourishing aspect? Is there healing to be done in order for you to celebrate each other? Right? So focus on that yin-yang energy. Balance the energy of feminine and masculine in your own life and your own mind. Practice moving energy out of you. When thoughts come up, get them out. Something comes up, get it out. And you're practicing this ease of moving the energy. And what happens to you, Capricorn, is you start to live your truth, and you start to speak your truth, and you start to give yourself away in this really amazing method of servitude, and you begin to see this balance form with this gentleness and this nurturing energy that then allows you to feel life in this slow and steady pace, in this bird's eye view, saying everything's going to be fine. We just go with the flow. We just dive in and go with the flow because the universe has our back. We are intuitive. We have this intuitive knowledge. It's okay to celebrate where we are. It's okay to just be and to just look up from the current circumstance. Okay, my dear Capricorn, if you're interested in any of my services, the best way right now is to check the description for my email address, because there's a lot of people out there who've been taking advantage or trying to manipulate our links as readers on here. So if you see any comments that look fishy, please just let me know. The best way to schedule anything: I do spiritual healing services, Akashic Records journeys, I do these lower chakra clearings, and I also certify people in the Akashic Records. So if that's something that interests you, as we've seen a little bit of this education here, if you're looking for some certification programs to go on and help with your channeling abilities, let me know. Again, send me an email, just a basic understanding of who you are. Say hi, and I will see it and respond to you there. And I'll also help you with this clarity and this understanding of balance here. Going through the processes of healing, again, is not easy. So if you have that one-on-one support and you have somebody to help you see from that bird's eye view, it's just going to help you to become a better channel, or, better being a very relative word, but it seems to me that you're looking to dive deeper. So if you want some assistance with that and of manifesting and helping with this releasing of energy flow, do let me know so that we can get back on track there, go back to basics, nurture you, help you to see your unique abilities and who you are as a person, and then to be able to speak that truth. So I hope to see you next month, Capricorn. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you will know when I am here to give you more of these free readings. And if not there, then I will see you in my inbox. We'll see you then. Bye.